These are my personal top 10 first basemen in the MLB heading into the 2025 season, starting off with Luis Arias from the San Diego Padres. Arias is well known for his elite contact ability that's arguably the best in the game at this point. He's now posted 3 consecutive seasons of over a 300 batting average, and his extremely low strikeout rate plays a large role in that. He's obviously not a big power guy with only 4 homers in 2024, and he also doesn't possess much speed on the bases. His defense has also been a weakness of his game, and it hasn't improved much at all throughout the years. Arias ultimately makes this list solely off of his one skill being as elite as it gets, but you can argue that his name value doesn't quite match the production on the field. However, I still think he has a solid year in 2025 though, as he's still in the prime at just 27 years old. Next up at number 9, I have recent first baseman Willson Contreras of the St. Louis Cardinals, who is transitioning to the position after spending his career at catcher. Contreras has always been productive with the bat, as he typically produces home run totals in the 20s while also holding an average that sits in the 260 to 270 range. He also has one of the league's best walk rates, showcasing his elite eye at the plate. Having been moved to first base for 2025, we could see a career year from Contreras as he attempts to set a high for games played in a season. It will be interesting to see how his defense plays out at the position, considering it's all very new to him, but I'm honestly not overly concerned that it'll be an issue. Heading over to the number 8 spot now, I'm going with Tristan Casas of the Boston Red Sox. This may actually be a little high for Casas based on his production early on in his career, but I'm betting that the potential shows itself early on in 2025. Last year, he suffered a major rib injury which limited him to only 63 games, but during that time he still hit 13 homers with a very strong walk rate. If he manages to stay healthy this upcoming season, I think Casas has the potential to reach 30 homers and 100 RBIs while also having a respectable average around the 250 to 260 range. He's really only scratching the surface at this point, and I'm willing to bet that at this time next year, Casas moves up on this list. Next up is one of the newest Arizona Diamondbacks at number 7, which is Josh Naylor. Now, Naylor is coming off of an absolutely incredible season that included him mashing 31 homers to go along with 108 RBIs and 84 runs. His average fell a little as he really focused on hitting for power, but the rest of his numbers were all career highs. He now moves to Arizona, where the hitting environment may not be as favorable from a park standpoint, but the lineup may actually be an upgrade from Cleveland. I'm not expecting Naylor to replicate his numbers from last year, but I do think we see something relatively close. He's an awesome player in the heart of his prime, and I'm sure he will prove that last season was no fluke. Moving into the top 6 now, and at number 6, I have Christian Walker of the Houston Astros, who also just recently switched clubs. Walker is truly an all-around stud, as he's coming off winning a Gold Glove in 2024, while also producing some really strong offensive numbers. He missed some time last year, but he was still able to hit 26 homers and drive in 84 runs. He's now been a mainstay for 6 straight seasons in the majors, and I don't see that changing this upcoming year. In saying this, it is fair to wonder if he begins a slow decline as he nears his age 34 birthday. Even so, Walker will always be valuable since he's strong on both sides of the field. Into the top 5 now, I have slugger Pete Alonso of the New York Mets at the 5 spot. Alonso is well known for his staggering power that included 34 homers in 2024 in what was actually a down year by his standards. He's shown a reliability to stay healthy, which is reflected by only 10 games missed in the past 3 years, and he's also been able to hold his own on the defensive end. While his average and on-base percentage are never numbers to get excited about, Alonso does make up for it with his power. Hitting behind Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto this year will only help him receive a higher quality of pitches, so I'm expecting Pete to surpass the 40 homer total in 2025. At number 4, I'm heading over to the Atlanta Braves and another slugger in Matt Olson. Olson actually has a very similar offensive profile to Alonso in terms of having big-time power with averages that fluctuate from year to year. With that being said, I've ranked Olson higher due to his supreme defense, as he's one of the best fielders at his position. Olson is also coming off a down year with 29 homers and 98 RBIs, but I think those numbers just reflect how good he is when he's on his game. Possibly the most impressive stat for Olson is the fact he hasn't missed a single game in 3 consecutive seasons. A player contributing on both sides of the ball for 162 a year is unarguably worth this spot. Now cracking the top 3, and in the 3rd position is longtime star Bryce Harper of the Philadelphia Phillies. Harper has been a mainstay for a decade now, showcasing a very diverse offensive skill set with power, speed, and contact ability. Harper had another strong season last year, hitting 30 homers, driving in 87 runs, and producing a .285 average. He really doesn't have many holes in his game and shows consistency from year to year. Harper has been injury prone over the past handful of years, which has held him back from winning many awards. Health will be the key in Harper producing a monster season in 2025. In the runner-up position is Freddie Freeman of the Los Angeles Dodgers. The first word that comes to mind when thinking about Freddie is consistency. His production year to year is almost identical, and he's simply one of the best pure hitters in the entire MLB. He hits for solid power, provides an elite average in on-base percentage, and also rarely misses time on the field. His performance in the playoffs last year reflects just how good of a player he really is, and one that's yet to slow down even as he continues to age. There will come a time when Freeman is unable to produce at an all-star level, as he is entering his age 35 season after all, but there's no reason to believe he can't justify this ranking for yet another year. And finally, earning the top spot in my first base rankings is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Toronto Blue Jays. Guerrero proved his critics wrong last year after previous seasons of middling production when expectations were at an all-time high. Vlad slugged 30 homers in 2024 to go along with 103 runs driven in and a monster .323 batting average. His defense has been a little inconsistent with a poor year in the field last year, but I do think Guerrero is better defensively than what he showed last year. He's also been as durable as they come, missing just 12 games in the past 5 years. I'm expecting huge numbers from Vlad this upcoming season as he tries to cash in during a contract year. And with that being said, that concludes my top 10 first baseman rankings heading into the 2025 MLB season. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.